Day
Welcome to
14,
day 14
Car
of
Audio
your
School.
Car Audio School. The school is to teach you how to do your own install for all the DIY people out there. Become a technician so you can get a job at a shop. Become a shop manager or a shop owner. All of this for entertainment and educational purposes only. And this is my online resume to help you do it yourself and stay out those shops. So continuing on our car audio track, we are into audio fundamentals, and today we are going to talk about amplitude. So imagine a ocean wave. The amplitude of the wave is like how tall it is from the still water or the level to the top of the crest, or how deep it is from the bottom of the trough. So we're talking about a sine wave, and if you look at a sine wave, it is down, then back to the middle, then up to the top. And what amplitude is talking about is the very low and the very bottom from the middle. A small ripple, a small ripple has a low amplitude, while a huge tsunami wave has a very high amplitude. We all know what tsunamis are, and for small waves, we'll keep on our analogy of a drop in a pond. So yes, let's talk about sound now. So when we talk about sound, amplitude is directly related to the loudness or volume. A sound wave with a higher amplitude is more powerful and thus sounds louder to our ears. So this is same on track as a small ripple in a pond to a huge tsunami coming into the shore. Even if I were to say the ebb and flow of the tide coming in, those are usually small ripples, whereas a tsunami is a very large ripple. A sound wave with a higher amplitude is more powerful and thus is louder to our ears. A whisper has a low amplitude, while a shout has a high amplitude. And this is very repetitive, but this is what it is. With test tones, when we increase the volume, you increase the amplitude in a predictable way. Music, on the other hand, has amplitude that constantly goes up and down throughout the song. Even in that, we will call that dynamics, which we will get to later, but for the sake of this conversation, it's a part of this conversation. Electricity. In the world of electronics, especially with audio signals, amplitude often refers to voltage, which is like the electrical pressure in a wire. So back to our wire analogy, there's voltage, there's current. Voltage is the pressure pushing the water. Current is the actual water flowing through the wire, which is like the electrical pressure in the wire. A signal with a higher amplitude, higher voltage, is more powerful electronically. So think about that. And I want to say this a couple of days back when we were talking about electricity. The higher the amplitude, we'll say on like a light bulb, old school incandescent light bulb, the brighter it gets. because we're pushing more power to it, or more electricity, or more current to it. Signal with a higher amplitude. Okay. Think of it as a stronger electrical push. An oscilloscope is a tool that visually shows us the amplitude, voltage, of an electrical signal over time, displaying it as a wave on a graph. The vertical height of the graph of the wave on the oscilloscope screen represents amplitude. I cannot wait to get you visuals because this is very important to know. But we're talking about the same thing. If it were a drop, it would be a small wave. If it were a tsunami, it would be a large wave. But in music, it's, don't laugh, it's literally like this because of the dynamics in the sound. And there are, for lack of better words, multiple waves in 1 second, but they all represent a single frequency. I can show you better than I can tell you. The vertical height of the wave on the oscilloscope screen represents amplitude. So in simple terms, amplitude equals strength equals loudness for sound equals voltage for electricity. I hope that made sense, but that's what it is. Amplitude equals strength. Strength equals loudness, meaning for sound, equals voltage for electricity. You can liken it to turning up a bass knob or turning up the volume, which brings to mind the conversation of gain, and I need to add that to my curriculum, because volume and gain are two different things. So we'll talk about it. It's all about how big or powerful the wave is at any given moment, measured from its resting point to its highest or lowest point. And that is pretty much it. I have this other one over here that I can give you, but it is extremely simplified. And usually I try to give you two different cases, a longer explanation, which is what I've been giving, and then a shorter simplified version. And just for kicks, this one, think of amplitude as how big or strong the wave is. That's the core idea. And then, we break it down into examples. For sound, imagine those waves we talked about. Amplitude tells you how tall those waves are. And then big amplitude equals loud sound. Think of shouting or a powerful explosion. The air is being pushed and pulled a lot. So an explosion versus a implosion would be a good example. An explosion will push air out. And in some cases, if it's big enough, you can actually see a ripple in the air pushing outwards from the blast. It's almost the same thing as a sonic boom when a plane or a vehicle is... yeah, I think a vehicle has broken the sound barrier. But a vehicle, airplane, or land vehicle breaking the sound barrier. I had one more. We'll go to implosion. Implosion. We all remember, I think it was last year or 2 years ago, the people that dived down into the sea, um, deep sea or something. Anyway, they built their own submarine and went into the water to go look at the Titanic. And that was an implosion. So that is sound waves. I don't want to say eating themselves, but really crashing down on top of itself. And even in that case, if you have a very slow motion camera, you can see it crumple itself up. The point of, I'll say impact, but the point of implosion where it sucks in on itself. That is the pulling in. All of this can be likened to a speaker or a subwoofer moving in and out. Small amplitude equals quiet sound. Think of a whisper or a gentle breeze. The air is being pushed and pulled just a little bit. And then you can think of it like a volume knob. Turning the volume up on your phone or speaker or bass knob in this case increases the amplitude of the sound. And then ocean waves, a huge crashing wave, has a large amplitude, while a tiny ripple has a small amplitude. And yeah, key takeaways. Amplitude is all about the size or strength of the wave. For sound, it directly relates to how loud or quiet it is. And that's pretty much it for today. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about decibels. I could have kept it way shorter, but I like to give the longer explanation. All the notes will be in the comments below. I'll say comments, but the box below. And that's pretty much it. Newsletter is coming along. I will make a way for anybody to click on it and join. And then I want to leave a link for all the pictures of all the work that I've done from 2020 up through getting laid off. We'll call it April 1st. Or at least April 1st was my first day of working for myself again. But I want people to see all the work that has been done and can be done and all that good stuff. If that's something that you want to see, if you have stuck around to this far, let me know and I'll include it. Tip your techs, donate below. We need stuff. We need stuff to teach. And I'll see you tomorrow.